Welcome to JasonWhiskyWise. My name is Jason. Welcome to our whiskey review, and kind of like my Laphroaig week at this moment, so hashtag Laphroaig week. But at the minute, I'm reviewing Laphroaig, and I want to continue on from the last video where we looked at the Laphroaig 10. I'll leave that linked here. But we're going to look at Laphroaig's Quarter Cask. Now, Laphroaig's Quarter Cask is also part of their core expressions. It joined the range, I believe, in 2004, and ever since has held its place very firmly in Laphroaig's lineup. Now, it is a no-age statement whiskey. It's bottled at a higher ABV of 48%. And also at the end of this video, I'm going to compare the Laphroaig 10 and the Select versus the Quarter Cask, so you get a bit of an idea of exactly where they do stand, because they're all in the same price bracket. Now, the actual name is as what states from the actual cask selection. So they take these ex-bourbon barrels holding Laphroaig whiskey, and then they transfer that liquid into quarter cask, being a bit smaller, well actually quite smaller, a quarter the size, and it's going to give you a little bit more of these rounder edges that they'll just sort of take the edges of the whiskey and also impart a little more of its character, so more contact with the wood. Now, the distillery itself is the Laphroaig Distillery. They are owned by the parent company Beam Suntory, and they are also located in Islay, Scotland. Very famous for all your peated expressions from whiskies. Now, in terms of the price point, I actually paid £35 for this in, I believe it was Waitrose, but you can find it at this moment in time for at least £40 to £42 here in the United Kingdom. Now, it's not exclusive, as it's part of their core expression, and it does, I believe, contain caramel colour, even though it's 48%. I did read somewhere that it does contain it. So, without further ado, let's get into the Quarter Cask, and I'll explain also at the end why I got a bottle of this as well. So, Slanger, let's get into the nose. So, to start on the nose of the Laphroaig Quarter Cask, I get that distinctive Laphroaig character working its way through, that sort of peaty, medicinal, a slight earthiness. And actually, that's one thing that distinguishes this one from the 10-year-old, is that it's got a slight earthy character about it. For me, it's also got that medicinal note, but the medicinal note is not super heavy on this one compared to the 10. And when I say earthy, to link that into almost like a flavour, it's almost like you've got these autumn leaves, combination of wild mushrooms, but this is like a wild mushroom soup. It's got a creamy aspect about it. But at the same time, I'm finding this little note coming through, which is like a woodland floor. It's like you've taken, the best way to describe it, for those of you guys who haven't been to a woodland, is if you ever had bark chippings when you go to a garden centre and you buy this for your garden, it's like you've opened a pack of those and you can smell that slight woody aroma. It then also has a slight sort of little bit of iodine coming there as well. And for me, I'm also finding a slight nutty aroma. It's almost like you've got walnuts, a little bit of Brazil nuts. A combination of these two for some reason, just mixed together. Wow, really, I love the depth in this nose. It's got, for me, I personally feel it's a little bit deeper than the 10, but that's just me. Let's get into the palate next and we'll find what we can discover there. Slanger. Straight away, arrival on the palate, it's a little bit more richer than the 10-year-old. You're getting this note of almost like a medium full texture. It's got a very nice mouth coating feeling. It then goes into that peat. You're greeted instantly by the peat. And I'm going to start with the peat, as once you hold it there, those flavors from the peat will dissipate, and then you'll now find this spicy aroma. And it starts with spices, and the spices are a bit more powerful on the Quarter Cask. You get this little bit of black pepper, a little bit of almost even like a chili heat as it warms up the palate. Very different from the 10, actually. I think the 10 I got closed. This I'm getting like a chili heat. This giving you that oomph of heat to it. Getting that little bit of that medicinal note coming through, almost like Band-Aids. And then it's got this almost like an extra roasted nutty character. For me, I wanted to say it's like Nutella. And if any of you try Nutella, it's like chocolate spread, but made out of hazelnuts. It's like extra roasted hazelnuts. I'm getting this really nice character, as if you've taken hazelnuts, you put them over the fire, you've left them for a little bit longer, and then you're just eating them in that smoke-wrapped hazelnuts together. It's just, so good. Following from that, there is this undertone note, and it's a bit bitter. I'm going to say it's like dark chocolate, but it's accompanied by this little sweetness, and it's like a little sparks of sweetness that are just working their way through on this one. It's like dark chocolate. I wouldn't say it's like 100%, 90%, maybe 70 to 80% dark chocolate with these little tiny fudge cubes. And if you melted this down, put them together. It's just like, whoa, I like this a lot. I like this whiskey quite a lot. You guys are probably going to know from the description. So let's get into the finish and we'll come to my conclusions. So now into the finish for the quarter cask. I'm getting this spicy aromas. The peat almost fades away and you're given this slight creamier texture to the palate. A slight hint of nutmeg. Those hazelnuts are still ever so present on this one. And for me, the spice even starts to fade as this peat starts to go as well. And you're left with a slight sweeter aroma on the mid palate and then the back palate as well. Maybe a little tingling of spice on the sides. So this gives you quite a long finish. And in terms of the three, I think this has got the longest finish. But my rating for this one is going to be here. It's going to be an 88 out of 100. I just really love this expression from Laphroaig. I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. Value for money. It's the same price bracket as the 10 and the Select. And this just for me is just blimey. It's like amazing. In terms of would I add water or would I give the whiskey time, those are completely optional. If you do give it time, it reduces the heat on the palate. So maybe doing that will reduce the heat if you don't like that spice. But overall, the flavors, this one I think is so much more far complex and so much more richer and got more depth. And it's just something that I really love in this whiskey. And I think the quarter cask has been just done perfectly. So that's why you probably all know, if any of you guys visit me, you'll know my collection always has a quarter cask in the collection because it's just something I love just going back to and just sitting there. So Laphroaig Quarter Cask, 88 out of 100. Let me know your opinions down below in the comment section if you've tried it. And what do you think on the Laphroaig Quarter Cask? But anyway, minus that, I'm going to leave the video at that. If you have enjoyed, drop it a thumbs up. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you are new. And be sure to check some other Laphroaig videos on the screen. But that's been me, JasonWhiskyWise, Mr. Bananas. He's been very quiet again. And we'll catch you both in the next video. Sláinte.